Once, perhaps not a very long time ago, there were two twin brothers. One was named Vivon, and the other Miguel. Vivon was a wonderful son, brother, and student. He always dressed nicely and got excellent grades in school. He loved his parents and God. He read his Bible and prayed every day. He played piano and guitar. And he had a gift. He could speak many different languages.
Hola, bonjour,
And he was always busy serving others. He worked at a restaurant, and he worked very hard. But he still gave his coworkers tips and always cleaned up his own mess. He loved his brother Miguel very much, even though Miguel didn't really deserve it.
Dude, get off me.
He gave Miguel money when he needed it.
Dude, all these bills to pay. Money. What can I get for you, sir? Can I have like the most expensive thing on the menu?
Dude!
Alright, hamburgers, pizza, everything. Everything? Okay. Dude, it took forever. Like, how long does it take to make? Just stick it. I'm sorry, sir. Check. Come on. I don't felt it. Dude, this is ridiculous. Oh. Vivian. Hola. Bonjour. Bro, get over here. Give me some money. Okay, sure thing, dude. Dude, thanks. I mean, dude.
On the outside, Miguel and Vivon looked exactly the same, but Miguel really was a very rebellious, angry man. He often used the money that Vivon gave him to buy drugs and alcohol. He preferred to live on the streets and be homeless. He was really lazy and he didn't like to work at all, even though he could easily get a job at the restaurant where Vivon worked. In fact,
Come on, guys. Give me some
Vivon kept
money.
offering him the
This
job.
guy's gotta eat.
Also, he hated his parents. Sometimes, to make ends meet, he even stole from stores. Sadly, he also had many friends who were just as bad as he was. But he was their leader, and the one they all followed. He was part of a gang called the Gang 18. The day came when Miguel initiated his first fight to the death with another gang. He was only 19 years old. Vivon tried to convince him to stop, but Miguel wouldn't listen.
Don't go! Dude, I gotta go fight! I don't care what you say.
The Gang 18 went out to meet another gang, the Gang Saltworks. They agreed to meet in an open field, and there were about 20 men in each gang. Miguel was one of the youngest men in the gang, but he was also one of the angriest, one of the most filled with hate towards his enemies. Many people died that day in the Gang Saltworks. Gang 18 was winning. Miguel even killed a man. He was covered in blood. The Gang Saltworks started to run away for their lives. And the sound of a police siren was heard in the distance.
The man!
The police is coming!
Dude, come on! It's whatever!
A policeman named Tom, who had known Miguel since he was 13, looked directly at his face from across the field to see his clothes covered in blood.
Miguel, you're a murderer now?
Miguel ran away and escaped. In fact, he ran all the way home. He took his bloody clothes off and put them on the floor, and hurriedly grabbed some of his things. Then he ran out the door towards the mountains, thinking he would never return. There was blood on his hands now. He would forever be labeled as a murderer. And in his heart he knew this, but he didn't care. He was angry at the world and hated everyone. Meanwhile, Vivon came home. He looked around. Then he saw, suddenly, Miguel's clothes on the ground. He looks in Miguel's room and saw that all of his belongings were taken. Then he knew what had happened. His heart broke inside him, and he wept. About 10 minutes later, he heard a loud pounding on the door. He thought quickly, and then he realized what he must do. He put on Miguel's clothes and turned to face the door.
Don't do it.
The police burst in. They grabbed him and executed him on the spot. 10 years later, Miguel had lived a life running away from the police, and he's tired. But he knows that if he goes back home, the police will recognize him. He's heard no word from his brother and assumed that he hates him for what he's done. He decides that since the police will eventually find him and he has no real hope or happiness in life, he'll go home and turn himself in. So he went to the police station and looked for Tom.
What are you here for? I'm looking for Tom. I've come to turn myself in. I've done something bad, and I deserve to die, and I've come for justice. You know how they say an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You know, I killed someone. I killed a man, so I deserve to die. What's your name? Just where's Tom? I need to talk to Tom. That doesn't matter.
I'm here, Miguel. What is it?
I've killed a man. I own up to it. I did it, and I'm a murderer, and I deserve to die.
You know, you deceived many people. You said you killed a man. You admit to that?
I do. I told you. Justice is that I die.
Now, Miguel, where do you think your brother has been this whole time?
I don't know. He told me not to go and fight, and I did, and now he probably just doesn't. He's forgotten about me. I haven't heard about him. He doesn't care. He doesn't.
How foolish can you be, Miguel? That night, when you murdered somebody, he put on your bloody clothes. He died in your place so that you could live.
No. Not my brother. No, not you.
And that is the story of Miguel and Miguel.